Hey guys, Thogden here, and welcome back to a new video. Now today we're going to be speaking about a very interesting topic in football at the moment. Where should Harry Kane move this summer, or should he stay at Tottenham Hotspur? We're going to speak about all of that, but first of all, to give you a little bit of information, he's going to be 28 in July, and he's a little bit concerned about the lack of trophies at Tottenham Hotspur.
Well, Theo, he is a world-class player valued at 108 million quid. He's 27 years old. He's absolutely at the peak of his career. This season, 22 goals in the Premier League and 13 assists. I've heard that he's desperate to leave. He's got 3 years left on his contract. So give it a year or two and his value starts to go down.
Yeah.
Do Tottenham sell now, or should he stay?
Well, I mean, the fact is, if you pay big money for him, that club, whoever signs him, will have to bring in an international league and potentially a Champions League. But with Harry Kane around a good team, could anything stop it?
Tottenham have not won the Premier League title or the First Division title since 1961.
Yeah.
There's no silverware there, is there, Theo?
Yeah.
They got to a Champions League final, but basically, Harry Kane, all he can do is get individual honours like the Golden Boot and goal-scoring records.
Yeah, but when he looks back at his career, he doesn't want to just have individual stuff. He doesn't want to just have England stuff. No, he wants it all.
Yeah.
And he has the ability to be in a top side and win Champions Leagues, Premier Leagues if he goes to another English club, etc. And he wants that under his belt when he looks back at his club.
Over the past few years, there's been a lot of players who've left and done better things.
Yep.
Gareth Bale, Christian Eriksen, Kieran Trippier, Luka Modric, the list goes on, Kyle Walker. So maybe Theo, he's been looking at those players and thinking, it's my turn.
Maybe it's time to join Kyle Walker at City. What's the first club we should assess that?
Well, before we do that, Theo, I think we should ask, should he stay?
Oh,
what
yeah,
about the
okay.
reasons for staying? And I'll tell you one of them, Theo, and it's a very personal one.
Right.
He's got 3 kids, aged 4 and under. He's quite settled in England and in the southeast, isn't he, Theo?
Yeah, but you could argue against that. Trippier's got young kids as well, and he's moved to Madrid, and clearly they're very comfortable there. It's whether Kane, who's just had a 3rd kid, I mean, it's a bigger family.
Yeah.
It's going to be difficult to even leave London.
But you know what? There's another reason, Theo.
Go on.
Jimmy Greaves scored 266 times for Tottenham Hotspur. He's the all-time goal scorer. Harry Kane's on 220.
Okay.
Don't you stay for 2 more years and become the highest Tottenham goal scorer of all time?
What, you wait for that, or in that 2 years, you could be winning Champions Leagues,
Yeah.
Premier Leagues, and all the big major competitions, or what? You're just going to wait for one statistic?
Think about Matt Letizia at Southampton. Think about Steven Gerrard at Liverpool.
Yeah.
Think about Alan Shearer at Newcastle. There's no Premier League titles there, but those 3 guys have or will have statues outside their ground. They're
Yeah.
absolute club legends. Don't you just stay until you're 35 at Tottenham Hotspur?
One thing in common about the players you just mentioned, Thogdad, all from older generations. It's becoming more obvious at the moment to transfer to another club if it's not working.
Yeah.
Everybody does it nowadays. Right, we're going to start off with talking about whether Harry Kane would sign this summer for Manchester United Football Club. What do you reckon?
Well, I reckon that could take Man United from 2nd to 1st. And that's the reason, isn't it? If you're going to spend probably 120 million quid,
Yeah.
you've got to ask, what does he bring to each club? Now, what I would point out, Theo,
Right.
Man United do occasionally spend big money on players. I'm talking Paul Pogba, nearly 100 million. Harry Maguire, about 80 million. There's a good reason why Man United would bring this lad in.
However, Eddie Cavani is having a wonderful year. He's
Yeah.
absolutely smashing it. He's turning that striker position into his. Just last week,
Yeah.
he scored a banger from nearly the halfway line, chipping the keeper. Why would they replace him?
Because Cavani's for 1 more year, Theo, because of his age. Harry Kane, you're buying someone who's going to score your goals for 5 or 6 years.
Hey, Dad, look at Zlatan. He's 39 and
Yeah,
still
yeah.
bagging for AC Milan. Who knows? Cavani might just sign a new deal and be the United striker for 3 to 4 years.
I suppose in Kane's mind, you're not guaranteed titles and silverware at Man United these days.
I think the interesting point to make here for Man United, should they, this summer, we're speaking about this summer,
Yeah.
because this is the summer Kane wants to go.
Yes.
Would United, if they were going to fork out over 100 million, is it better to spend that money on a right winger like Jadon Sancho, who they've also been heavily linked with, in a position they kind of need it more? And you've got to look at the wingers like Amad Diallo, who's young, Mata, who's leaving. They've got Rashford and Greenwood, but they can't trust in them two the whole way round. Sancho might actually be the right move. I think the perfect situation for United here with the Kane transfer is wait another year.
But what about if it works this way, Theo? And don't laugh at me here.
Okay.
60 million or a big number plus Anthony Martial plus Jesse Lingard for Kane.
You're just gone crazy at this point, Thog Dad. I do not see that happen. Is that what you're going with? Is that what you reckon is going to happen?
I'm just throwing it out there.
Okay, well, let's move on to the next club. The next club we're going to be speaking about is Manchester City Football Club. The other side of Manchester. We're getting the two favourites out the way, really.
Apparently, Harry Kane's been asking his England teammates at Man City, what is life like in the Northwest? Now, remember Kyle Walker left Spurs 4 years ago.
Right.
What's he gone and won? An FA Cup, 4 League Cups, 3 titles, and he's in a Champions League final next week.
Yeah, but Kane had a Champions League final, but he lost it. The difference is City are favourites, and he's likely to come away with the Champions League win. And that is something Kane really wants. Same as Premier Leagues. Kyle Walker's won tons of them.
Yeah.
And quite frankly, it wouldn't surprise me if he goes there. Pep Guardiola is literally the winner of trophies. If Kane wants that, go get him.
Sergio Aguero is 33 years old. He's on his way out.
Yeah.
Jesus is just not quite good enough. What Man City need, Theo, they need a Harry Kane equivalent so that for the next 5 years they can dominate European competition. This, for me, is the most obvious destination for Harry Kane.
And I thought the same, but here's the problem. City don't often spend more than 70 million. And hear me out here. People call City the money club. They say they've got unlimited amounts of cash. If you look at the transfers they've done, for a solo player, they don't often spend more than 70-ish million. They like to keep them all around the same budgets.
Yeah.
So they're on the same sort of wages, same sort of transfer demands, because they're a team. Would they really fork it out for Harry Kane?
Right, I've got a cunning plan, and you have to think this way post-COVID.
You do.
How about 60 million plus Raheem Sterling plus Gabriel Jesus?
Oh, that's an interesting deal.
Yeah.
Next summer, Haaland's on the market, right?
Yes.
For £70 million.
Yes.
Because he's got a release clause that comes in the summer of 2022.
I disagree with that. There will be a bidding war for Haaland all day long. You're talking 100 million for him.
They've got the family links, Dad.
I'm afraid life doesn't work like that. Family links, schmamly links. But when it comes down to it, it's money, Theo.
Company, they needed a centre-back. They waited a year.
Yeah.
Rodri, they needed a central midfielder. They waited a year. They don't rush into buying players. We're going to be speaking about another English option, which is Chelsea Football Club. Now, we've got to be straight up here, Dad. There is bad blood between the boardrooms of Chelsea and Tottenham. Not only are they rivals, there's a lot of history. Modric was heavily linked with Chelsea Football Club. They were really wanting him. They were trying to get the deal over the line. And basically, Levy stopped it. And he went public about it. It properly kicked off. Okay. Later on, Willian, he was practically a Spurs player. He was in the training ground, holding up the shirt. Basically, Spurs fans and owners were congratulating him, guys. It was mental. Then Chelsea, on the last minute, they came in and stopped the deal, sneaked him, and Willian became a Chelsea player and went on to do a lot of things for a lot of years.
You've got straight to the point. But what you do have, Theo, is a very rich owner who's got the money to buy Harry Kane.
Absolutely. Even moving to Manchester, they'd have to move house. They probably wouldn't have to do that if he stays around London. That's the key. Keep the families in the same schools. It's the little things. The wife, does she really want to move to Manchester? So it makes Chelsea quite a likely move. And with them having the money, and Roman Abramovich wouldn't be saying no. If the bid comes in, the big question is whether Levy would accept it or allow it.
Yes, I think this would be too acrimonious. I think it would kick off big time in London. And for that reason, it's not going to happen, which is a shame in a way. Because with Harry Kane, Chelsea could really push for the Premier League title.
It'd be ridiculous, Dad. And with Giroud and Tammy looking like they're going to be leaving, there's space for it. As much as Havertz and Werner are kind of competing for that striker role, listen, I think there's always room when there's Harry Kane. He basically plays two positions. He's unbelievable. If this move happened, it would properly kick off. Could you imagine the Spurs fans if he went to Chelsea?
It would be amazing. Now, how about, Theo, 90 million plus Tammy Abraham?
There you go. Thog Dad, you're becoming a little bit of a transfer bidder here.
I'm a wheeler dealer, mate.
Yeah, you really are. Harry Redknapp, you're having a laugh, mate. Bring in Thog Dad.
Bring the brown envelope. Only joking.
Dad, let's go abroad. Let's speak about Paris Saint-Germain. They definitely have the money to sign Harry Kane, but would they fork it out this summer when Neymar and Mbappe are already under their belt?
Well, this one makes a lot of sense. Like you say, Theo, they've got the money. They've got ambition. They want to win their first ever Champions League title, don't they? So from Paris's point of view, good idea.
Most importantly, Pochettino.
Yes.
Ex-Spurs. So much of Kane's success has been under that manager.
Yeah.
Kane knows if he goes to PSG under him, he's going to be successful. It's a little bit, the move makes sense, doesn't it?
It does, but there's one thing that I don't like about this. Now, Harry Kane would love to break the Premier League goal-scoring record, which is held by Alan Shearer with 260 goals. He's got to score 95 more goals. So I think Harry Kane really wants that individual honour.
No, forget all these individual honours, Dad. He could go to PSG, win Liga 1 and Champions Leagues. If you have Neymar, Mbappe and Kane in the same team, you are favourites to win the biggest competition in the world, the Champions League. Don't wait around for individual honours. It's different levels, this, Dad, we're talking.
Well, first of all, winning the Farmers League means nothing. Secondly, will PSG win the UCL?
That Spurs can't even win their own league.
Look at the rest of the PSG squad, and you've named two amazing players.
Right.
The rest of the squad, it's a bit meh.
Dad, they would just outscore teams with Mbappe, Neymar and Kane. You can't even argue about quality. That's one thing that they don't lack.
Look, Theo, overall, I don't think this is going to happen. And the reason being family and personal reasons. I don't think Harry Kane and his young family are going to go overseas, full stop.
We're going to go over to Spain and we'll do it together. Real Madrid and Barcelona. What are the chances Kane goes to one of them two?
Zero chance because they're skint. It's as simple as that. Barcelona have got €1 billion of debt.
Yep.
Why do you think this Super League, this European Super League was going to happen? It's because these two massive clubs haven't got a bean between them.
Right.
No chance of Kane going to Spain.
Real Madrid have got Benzema, fair enough. But Barcelona miss a striker. They sold Suarez to Atletico Madrid. They need someone to cover that position, Dad.
Theo, every club in the world would love to have Harry Kane in their dressing room. Barcelona and Real Madrid cannot afford him. End of discussion.
To be fair, Barcelona have been linked with kind of a level below of the Memphis Depay and Lautaro Martinez. Kind of the cheaper options compared to Kane. So I completely agree with you, Dad. At the moment, Real Madrid and Barcelona, they're not the team they were 5-10 years ago. It's a fact.
Yes.
They've fallen away, and with COVID, it's even worse. I'm sorry, I can't see Kane going to one of them two unless they take a massive loan and a massive gamble that they're going to bring home the La Liga and a Champions League that year. And if that happens, unbelievable scene. Be honest, Dad. Is Kane going to leave Spurs this summer? Yes or no? That's it. Just say yes or no.
No, he's staying at White Hart Lane.
I'll be different and say yes. I think one of the clubs will cough up the money, and it would be mental scenes. If he was to stay, Levy definitely needs to spend some money on a big centre-back and basically prove to Kane that there are trophies available with the team that they're building around him.
Yes.
So it's all up for grabs. How many likes are we going for this video, Dad?
Oh, go on then. 10,000.
10,000 likes. Let's do it for Kane. I mean, the most important thing of this video is discussion. So get down in the comments and let us know, be honest, a club and the reason why he will move to that club this summer. Let us know. Don't be boring and say, oh, he's staying at Spurs.
Harry Kane is a bloody brilliant player. And whatever he does, I wish him the best as an Englishman.
We've got the Euros coming up in literally a few weeks now. We're going to be making loads of content around that. And I really want Kane to be bagging those goals.
Come on, it's coming home.